This is the Google Nexus 4 E960 glass back cover replacement guide brought to you by Repairs Universe. Performance repair, all we're going to need is a Torx T5 screwdriver and adhesive strips. Here is the back cover here. As you can tell, it is just the glass. So, to begin the repair, the first thing we're going to do is use a paper clip or a SIM card removal tool and remove the SIM card. Once we eject that SIM card, we're going to just pull it straight out. After that, we'll just have two T5 screws at the bottom. Once these are removed, we're going to use our safe open pry tool and begin removing the back housing from the rest of the device. The reason we're doing this is because we're going to be heating the back cover, so we don't want to damage or overheat anything inside, including the motherboard. So we're just going to start at the bottom there, release some of those clips, work our way around to the sides. Sliding that in between the seam there, releasing every clip alongside. Make sure to kind of pull it apart and keep a pressure applied, so that way those clips release a little bit easier. And there we go, getting to the other side now. And just release those final clips. And now the back housing can be removed. So there we go. We're just going to put the rest of the device to the side. And we're going to flip it over. And now you're going to use a heat gun or a hairdryer. We're going to begin warming the back of the glass here. We're going to use a medium to low heat. And it's going to take your time heating this. Not going to overheat it, as the plastic is pretty malleable, so you don't want to overheat and distort it in any sort of way. So we're going to spend about a minute heating this on a low to medium heat. Alright, so once it's properly heated, we're just going to use our safe open pry tool again. We're just going to try to remove, using the edges here, using our safe open pry tool, just prying in between that seam of the glass and the actual plastic housing. As you can tell, it is pretty malleable. Still was pretty difficult to get the pry tool underneath that. Even with that heat applied, we just ended up going through, or had all the cracks and shards. This may be the easiest way to do it, regardless of the situation. We're just going to get underneath using our pry tool and begin lifting each of those shards up. Of course, you want to be very careful in the center here, as there is going to be the antenna, as well as other flex cables located underneath. So you're just going to want to make sure to get underneath the adhesive, but not underneath the flex cable itself. So there you go, there's a main piece right there. So I'm just going to speed up the video a little bit. I'm just going to continue removing that glass, working our way around. Take note that this is going to cool down a little bit. It doesn't take too long for that heat to go away and that adhesive to harden right back up. So keep that in mind. If it's getting a little bit too difficult, you might want to hit it a little bit more with the heat gun. As you can tell right there, that volume button did fall out of the housing. Just be sure you put that to the side, so when you can put it together when you reassemble it. Just working with all these small shards over here on the left side now. Alright, so it's just getting a little bit difficult, so I'm going to hit it again with the heat gun or the hairdryer. Just be patient through this process, as it does take some time. And like I say, you do not want to damage that flex cable located right there. So I'm just picking away some of the small shards, and now working towards the big one again over here. And you see I just slide it right underneath there. Then I'm having issues as the adhesive holding the flex cable to the glass is actually pulling away. I'm trying to separate it there. And I'm just going to hit it again with the heat gun again, and it should allow me to take that large piece off. See, came up quite easily that time. And now for the final pieces. just going to swap over to a small flathead and just get those final pieces of glass out of there. And there we go, the back glass has been removed. So now I'm just going to hit it with some alcohol or adhesive solvent. Just going to clean all that adhesive up, make sure I get away any of the loose shards of glass that may be still connected to the housing. And just scrape everything nice and clean. So that way we have a nice clean surface to apply the new adhesive or glue. Alright, so now I'm going to apply the adhesive once it's all cleaned and dried up. And here's a look at that. As you can see, we just laid strips across the back of the housing. This makes it much easier as you know where to apply and where not to apply. So I'm just going to begin releasing all this adhesive, all the strips covering the adhesive. That way it's just one nice large sheet of our very strong 3M adhesive. This is going to hold that back glass in there very tightly, while it's not going to be too permanent where it could damage the housing if you ever need to replace that glass again. Now the other solutions could be using super glue or rubber cement, but in this case we just used our normal adhesive and it worked great. So once all that adhesive is set, I'm just going to apply the new glass. Just going to make sure we line it up right. Now we're just going to apply some pressure. Make sure it fits in there nice and snug. And there we go. All the hard work is done at this point. All I need to do is put it back together. As you can see, it's a nice snug fit. And from here, the final addition to this will be adding the speaker mesh, which we can just use from the old one and place right over the top, just using the same adhesive, or you can add fresh adhesive if needed. Once that's done, we can just reassemble the device. So first thing is going to be putting that volume button back in place, and now just resecuring the back housing, putting in that SIM card tray, and of course the final step is placing in the final 2 T5 screws. And your back glass housing has now been replaced. You can find all the tools and parts used in this video at repairsuniverse.com. If you found this video useful, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel or on this video. And also be sure to check us out on Facebook and Twitter. Thank you for watching.